Jolene Mizzone.
Oh.
Oh, what a pleasure to have you join us. Hi, Jolene. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. So we just talked to Curtis, who is in the main event stable. Talk to us a little on the matchmaking end and on the business end of what's happening with main events and what you can share with us, and some of the new things that are happening for you guys over there.
We're just preparing for the fight next week with Sergey Kovalev and Jean Pascal, and now Dmitry Mikalenko and Kareem Mayfield, which Mayfield was just replacement this week because Ray Robinson was supposed to fight Mikalenko. He pulled out last week of the fight because of an injury. Working on the possible Andre Ward and Barrera fight. We're working on a couple fights coming up in April and March that I can't discuss now until they're solidified.
Yes, you can. We won't tell anybody.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
This is a box.
You don't tell
This is
anybody
social
either.
media. It ain't happening. Not happening. It was a good try, though.
Jolene, okay, can you give us a percentage on how close Ward Barrera is getting done? Is it like 50% done? Can we hope to see that?
You got to talk to Andre Ward. Barrera wants to fight.
Yeah. I think it's so funny that he keeps calling Andre Ward J.C. Penney.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Jolene,
so Barrera wants to fight. What's holding it up with Ward? Is it the money? Is it the location? Is it the date? Is he just being a stubborn prick? I mean, what's the hold up on Ward?
It's more of contract issues and it's more of that. I mean, there's a lot going into opposed to if each fighter wants to fight, it goes into, I want to fight, but if I win the fight, you can't ask for my next born child, put it in words like that, like there's fair deals, and being in this business for so many years, there's fair deals, and then there's deals that come with a jar of Vaseline. You can't take those deals, I mean, you just can't because you got to look at the big picture. But as a fighter, his job, he wants to get in the ring. He wants to fight Andre Ward. He wants to step up. He feels he's ready.
And obviously you feel good enough in making that fight.
Huh?
And obviously you feel good enough in making that fight that you guys are proceeding and doing as your fighter wants you to do.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yep.
Well, we were just talking with Curtis, and, man, he ran through a list of fighters.
Oh, my God.
He says that you guys have been trying to get fights from. So why are they turning
I'm
him
ready
down
to give my fucking firstborn to get Curtis a fight for fucking somebody to accept. I mean, it's absurd. It's absurd. I mean, he'll go overseas and fight Saunders. That's been put out there. Lemieux, we did everything but beg, borrow, and steal for that fight. He chose to go a different route. Kirkland started last year. That, no, he can't fight at 60. Okay, let's do a catchweight. Oh, no, that can't happen. All right, then, let's do Rosado in the ring. They did in BKB. Let's do it in the ring. No, it's everybody. It's a risk to fight Curtis. But the last time I checked, we're in fucking boxing. We're not in fucking ballet. Nobody wants to take risks anymore. Why? Because they're turning on the fucking TV and they're seeing who these other guys are fighting. That's not boxing. It's not. And it's getting obnoxious now. Because you have alpha dogs in this business and you have non-alpha dogs. And there used to be a lot more alpha dogs in this business. They don't exist very often anymore. They don't. And it's a shame.
Jolene, you've been in the business a long time.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. Go ahead, Jolene. Oh,
I forgot what I was going to say. It's okay. Go ahead. You can go.
I don't know
what I was going to say.
Of all the changes that you've seen happening around boxing in recent years. Is there one thing that you think is the single most detrimental thing that's happened to the business of boxing in recent years?
Yeah, that the average Joe, or when I go to parties at my friend's house or what, don't know who the fuck boxers are outside of Mayweather and Pacquiao. You know, I mean, back in the day, and, you know, I can only speak for main event fighters, but maybe they weren't the Mayweather or Pacquiaos, but, you know, I used to go out and I'd be able to say, you know, names like Fernando Vargas, you know, David Tua. Maybe they weren't the top guys, but the average Joe knew these guys. Michael Moore, you know, the average Joe, Andrew Galata, and these aren't Mayweather Pacquiao names. I'm not naming Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield. You know, they knew Junior Jones. They knew Barrera. You know, they knew these guys because when these guys would fight, they would fight the right competition. You know, and, you know, the average Joe would turn on HBO or whether it was network and say, oh, I like this guy. You know, it's the same thing. I was at a friend's house and, you know, a lot of times it's not much boxing on, then I could say, oh, there's a fight on, let's put it on. Because I know I'm not going to get fans. You know, I was at a friend's house in Canelo and Kirkland were fighting. We know what that's going to be in the ring. At a friend's house, a bunch of people are there. They didn't know who Canelo was at the time. As soon as the fight was over, all of them were a fan of Canelo. That's how it works. And guess what? They were a fan of Kirkland, too. Both of them got fans. You know, was it the best fight out there? No, it wasn't the best fight out there. That's what people want to see. You know, they want to see that in the ring. People want it. You know, boxing, people do like boxing, but they have to see the right matches. You know, I mean, if you're going to see people run around in the ring or, you know, not be promoted properly, or you're going to watch this guy who has so much goddamn talent fight, you know, one easy fight after another, it gets old. You know, it gets old. I mean, the perfect fighter of today that was brought up beautifully is Miguel Cotto. Did he fight a war every fight? No, he didn't. But they did it right. It was done right. You fight your tough fight. All right, you get an easier fight. You know, these are human beings. Because at some point he became the product. People don't care if he was fighting Donald Trump. They're going to tune in. You know, and people now are just, I mean, think about the heavyweight champion, the American heavyweight champion. Last year at this time, on Showtime, he fought Severn, and the viewership was 1.2 million. Last week, he fought Arthur Spilka a year later, and the viewership was fucking 500,000. Think about that. Without losing a fight. You're talking about a heavyweight champion, an American heavyweight champion, fighting for a whole year, gets back on to Showtime, and the rating drops by 700,000.
Wow. Why could that be, Jolene? Why is that happening? Why are the ratings just dipping so low now, and drastically too?
You know what? I think it goes a lot, and I think this is, you know, it's promoting. Who's promoting Deontay Wilder besides Deontay Wilder himself? Who's promoting?
Let's see. There's oh, never mind.
Yeah. You know, and it's not. It's not a single. There's no one promoting him. Listen, all due respect, no one gives a fuck about the initials PBC. Nor should they. You know, just like with us, when we're promoting our fighters, I don't give a fuck if people heard of main events or not. I give a fuck if people heard about Sergey Kovalev.
Right.
You know, that's what you want.
That's a good point you bring up, because I had some younger fighters and some people in the industry ask me what the biggest difference is, and I said PBC is about building the PBC brand. It's not so much about building a fighter, building their brand, making them a product, making them a household name, a pay-per-view fighter, yada, yada. They're building their PBC brand. That is the brand. That's what people know. That's what they're talking about. And that's kind of sad because you have some actually decent fighters over there that, could you imagine if they're fighting on HBO or if they're being promoted by a single sole promoter? I mean, they'd be much bigger and much more well-known and fighting better guys than what they are now. So I agree with you there. I mean, that's just like, HBO doesn't have to brand HBO. They brand the fighter.
Yeah, they brand the fighter. HBO is already a brand. They've done that, and they've been HBO boxing was branded by the actual fighters in the ring. Back in the day, you turn on HBO, you're going to see a good fight. It's branded. So they brand each other. It was the whole concept with this PBC of making it UFC. UFC is a brand.
Yeah.
That boxing's been around for, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's totally different. Like, none of these guys, it's, there's so much talent there that, and I said this over a year ago, they're putting him in with such soft competition that when this whole thing explodes, I put any one of my guys in with any of their guys tomorrow because they're ruining them. They're not making them better, and they have a shitload of talent there. They have a shitload of talent in the PBC, and seeing that and seeing a guy with talent fight. If you're going to fight an easy fight, I got no problem with that. If it's a mandatory or what, shit happens, But, like, I'm not saying a guy should fight, balls to the wall every fight, but when it's an easy, the only thing they're doing is hurting that fighter. With the PBC, I don't think they're last year with all, I think they had including Showtime, they had a total of 53 shows last year. 53, yeah, it was 53 shows, including the Showtime. That's not including the pay-per-view. So you have a platform of 53 shows. Can we say one fighter who can go on pay-per-view tomorrow?
No, that would be tough.
As a fighter, your end goal is to be a pay-per-view star. That is where the money's at, boys. That's where it's at. That's what everybody's goal should be, is to become that pay-per-view star, because that's where the money is. I'm convinced they don't want anybody to be a star.
Hi, Jolene. Quick question. Since we're on the subject of Al Heyman, there was a fight over the weekend between Zar Glasgow and Charles Martin. What do you think of Glasgow's performance, and where does he go from here?
Well, he tore his ACL, and he has a 9-month recovery. There's nothing to say where to go. I mean, it was a freak thing that happened. It happened. I'm not going to make any excuses or, it happened. I mean, we just got the MRI report and he tore his ACL, and there's more that's into it that, a release will come out about it, but it was actually worse than that we've gotten, a couple of doctors that, gave their opinions on the MRI or what, but, it was a legit injury. It wasn't, people are saying he quit and this and that. There's all MRIs to prove it. So he didn't quit, but people can say what they want.
Okay. Do you give Martin any credit for why he got injured, or was it just like completely an accident, like what happened against anybody?
Do I give Martin credit for what?
For why he got injured. For why
no, not at all. I give Martin credit for being a left-hander. With lefties, your foot gets stepped on. I'm not blaming Martin. That's not his fault. But do I give him credit? No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, he won fair and square. This is boxing. But did he, do I give him credit for Glasgow tearing his ACL? And because he put a beating on him? No, because actually the scorecards were even. So.
Yeah. What did you see the scorecards? The Glasgow won round 2?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I mean, look, everybody could say here. There's been stories that were out of people from Martin's side saying he'd quit. You know, I'm not going to speak, and you know, but he didn't quit. I mean, like I said, we have doctor reports to prove it. No one can make that up. It's not a back injury where somebody has a slip disc. Most people in the world have a slip disc. You know, he was legitimately injured.
All right, so this fight happened because it went to first bid. We know you haven't done any work with Al Hammond since the lawsuit. So, is there any chance that y'all might work together?
That's not true. That's not true.
What have you done?
We did Chilemba and Alvarez. We made a deal.
All right, wasn't that also a first bid?
No, not at all. It was a straight deal. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. That was not a first.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a good point, then.
Yeah.
All right, so
now we're willing to do. Look, if it benefits our fighter, we'll do a deal. I mean, I've sent names of our fighters to promoters that promote the PBC, saying, "Look, this one's available." I don't care. You know, we're willing to fight anybody, and so are our fighters. I'm not going to hold, and nor is Kathy going to hold any of our fighters back because somebody's with Al Hammond. If it's the right deal, we'd work with them.
Okay,
we'd have no problem. Like Chilemba. It's the perfect situation. It was for the number 1 spot. We're going to say, "Oh no, you're not fighting Alvarez. He's with Al Hammond." No, not at all. That's what people think. That's what a lot of people think, but that's not true. And like I said, I've sent plenty of our fighters saying they're available.
Joe, I wanted to ask you about someone else in your stable that I have not heard about in a long, long time, and that's Carl Bargan. What is going on with Carl?
He had an injury from his January fight of last year, and I was trying to get him back in July. I talked to Brother Nazim in July to try to give him a fight, and he was still injured. And, I'm just waiting to hear from Brother Nazim, when he's ready to go.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Jolene, it is an absolute pleasure. I'm so happy that you called in and spoke with us. It's not often that in our platform we get to talk like this, with matchmakers. Is there something out there that you've been hearing that you would like people to stop to dispel or anything like that?
No, because I don't really give a shit. Because people are going to talk. They're going to talk, they're going to assume, they're going to, all that stuff, and about me or main events or what, but if somebody knows me and they're close to me, my phone, and they have my phone number, they're more than welcome to call instead of making assumptions.
I heard that, Jolene. They're not messing with you. They don't want that. No, all right, Jolene. They don't want those problems with you.
That's okay. I'm not really that bad. If somebody knows me, I'm not that bad. You're going to hear the truth. And I don't know. I'd rather sometimes that.
All right, Jolene, thank you so much for calling in and speaking with us when we give you a problem. It is always a pleasure to speak with you, and I hope that I get to see you again soon.
All right, you too.